Hello, Pally.
Today is September 4th, 2019.
And InFocus starts right now.
Embarcadero Road. Walk sign is on the crossing.
A technology company's birthday,
A major hurricane in the eastern U.S.,
and everyone's favorite quiz show.
all that and more is coming up on today's show.
Welcome to InFocus. I'm Stella Essenmacher.
And I'm Isabella Kutsianis.
There's a lot going on around campus.
Here are some important announcements from today's campus bulletin.
For all Pally seniors, colleges are sending their reps to campus to share some information about their schools. Students who are interested in attending one of these sessions should stop by the College and Career Center to get a pass from class. The colleges visiting the next few days are Washington University in St. Louis tomorrow at 8:20 a.m., Johns Hopkins University Friday at 8:20 a.m., College of Mount St. Vincent Friday at 12:15 p.m., and Purdue University Friday at 2:05 p.m. The full list can be found online and is posted on the wall outside the guidance office. Also for seniors, Senior Parent Night is tonight at 7 p.m. in the Performing Arts Center.
All students who drive themselves to school should be aware that parking enforcement start next Tuesday. If any student doesn't have a parking permit, they will need one in order to park in any Pally lot. See Jenny in the main office for a permit.
Cars are something we use almost every day, but you know what else is always being used? Google.
Our resident historian Jackson Drucker is here to tell us more about what happened on this day in history.
Thanks, Bella. On this day in 1998, Google founders and Stanford PhD students Larry Page and Sergey Brin officially incorporated Google as a privately held company in California. The search engine company has become a technology giant since then, staying on par with the likes of Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. Google.com is the world's most visited website with 3.5 billion searches per day, and the company is worth hundreds of billions of dollars. That's all for me. Back to you.
Thanks for the history lesson, Jackson. Technology is a very important aspect of today's society.
It can even be life-saving, especially in the case of sending out info about something like a hurricane.
Hurricane Dorian is bearing down on the east coast of the U.S. as a Category 2 storm after wreaking havoc in the Bahamas, which it stalled over for more than a day. At least 5 people have been killed by the storm's high winds, rain, and floodwaters, and homes have been destroyed all across the Bahamas. Evacuation orders have been placed for millions of people across Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina as the storm approaches the U.S.
A scuba diving charter boat went up in flames off the coast of Santa Barbara over the weekend. Most of the people on the boat were sleeping below deck when the blaze started. And while 5 crew members escaped to safety, the Coast Guard has found the bodies of 20 victims. 14 people who were on the boat are still missing. The boat sank after a fire below deck. Authorities say the intensity of the fire has made it harder to gather information about the incident and how it happened.
Britain is barreling towards a Brexit deadline of October 31st, after which it would exit the European Union with no deal, potentially bringing catastrophic consequences to the nation. The House of Commons recently voted to take power away from the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, to ensure he doesn't get the no-deal ending he wants. But he responded by saying he may call for a general election and suspend Parliament so the public can decide on Britain's fate.
Did you know that Britain is a constitutional monarchy?
Or that Pally's campus was founded in 1918?
Maddie Drucker set out to find out what Pally students do or don't know about our school in this episode of Pop Quiz.
With the election coming up, students have lots of different opinions about current politics, but how much do they actually know? Psych, that was me from 3 years ago now, and when I was a wee freshman, but now I'm a senior and we're bringing back Pop Quiz for the 2019 and 2020 school year. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What is the name of our principal?
Wait, oh my gosh, that's so
Mr. Paulson.
Adam Paulson.
Oh, Mr. Paulson. Adam.
Kimmy D.
Mr. Bergson.
It was like Mr. Miss Keating, right?
I have no idea.
Kyle.
Where do you go for float building during Spirit Week?
I know.
You go to the
You go to that room. The auto room.
auto room, yeah.
The auto shop building.
I go to the place where there's the float building.
No, auto shop, Mr. Knight's room, the best room.
Yeah, sorry.
Auto shop.
Kyle.
Auto shop all the way.
Yeah, auto shop is the place to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's the 500s building?
Oh, right there.
Right there? Yeah. Are you sure? Can you take a look at that number right there? That's 500, isn't it?
I think 500th building is right there.
That way.
Yeah, so the 500 building, you just gotta go right over there and then left like at the, when you see that one pillar.
It's left and then
Go
right,
left.
and then you go down and you take a left.
And then you go right, and then it's like on your left, but it's sort of on your right as well.
Look for the blue truck, and then when you see the blue truck, you'll know you're at the 500th building.
What is the name of Pally's radio station?
KPLY.
KPLY.
We have a radio station?
I think there's only one.
KPLY?
Yes.
KPLY. KPLY.
Wait, Bowen can
KPLY.
say. Bowen can say.
Kyle.
Hulkinator.
Hey, we don't talk to the media.
You just talked to the media, though.
Right.
Hulkinator.
Thanks for that piece, Maddie. Those Pally students really knew the answers to a lot of questions.
The one thing everyone's still asking, though, is how did our sports team do yesterday?
Jason Goldie is in the studio now with the latest in Pally sports news. How did Pally teams do yesterday, Jason?
Thanks, Stella. Let's see how our teams did. The girls' freshman volleyball team played yesterday and lost to Valley Christian by a score of 2-1. The varsity team also played Valley Christian and came out on top by a score of 3-2. Now let's move on to the upcoming games. Girls volleyball has games tomorrow afternoon at home against Archbishop Mitty. The freshmen kick it off at 4:15. JV takes the court at 5:30, and varsity starts its game at 6:45. The freshman football team also plays tomorrow in an away game at Burlingame, starting at 6:45. That's all for me. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jason. Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.